let's go guys. We got a team letter in 2025. It's been a while since DECA released a producer's letter or roadmap for the upcoming patches for Realm of the Mad God, but they've finally done it, and there's plenty of good responses actually. It's a lot of W's in this team letter. So let's jump straight into what DECA says will happen for RotMG. Realmers, a lot has happened over the past years, and it's been a while since we directly talked openly about our development process. Today we want to share with you some of our upcoming plans for Realm of the Mad God, but also reflect on the last year and what we have done so far. Realm has come a long way over the past years, and we are just getting started. In this team letter, you will find out about our largest projects currently in work, like equipment, Rarity, a new realm expansion with a world boss, a brand new endgame dungeon. We have more in store for you, all of you, but not everything is ready yet to be shared. Make sure to check out our upcoming testing sessions and teasers on our social media channels in the future. They're talking here about the Realm Rework. Although the Realm Rework was officially released last Xmas, we're committed to ongoing improvements with each release. Please continue to share your suggestions and feedback with me on the official Discord. We couldn't have achieved this without your support, and we hope you'll join us for what's next. Equipment Rarity. Back in 2023, we introduced Enchanting to the game. The original launch was a little rocky and needed a rework. Unfortunately, that rework, while far better, still didn't set up the system for the kind of expansion we wanted the game to have. Now it is time to finally improve the system and other related systems to really reach the impact that Enchanting was supposed to have on the game. Item Rarity. The largest part of this update is going to be the item Rarity system. All pieces of equipment will now be able to roll with multiple enchanting slots. All equipment, not just tiered. When an item is obtained, it has a chance to roll a higher rarity, with each rarity corresponding to a number of enchantment slots up to 4 on an item. We want to shake up the item chase, as over time players have run out of increasing goals for their equipment. In many cases, once an item has been acquired, there is little reason to keep running that dungeon. If you like an item, we want you to be able to try to get even better versions of it, or just be able to show off your rarest item finds to other players. Simultaneously, we want to be balancing around the full 4 slot items as a point of power. Players should not feel pressured to go for the long grind to feel like they meet the standards of power the game is expecting from them. I guess this is how it will look. Here we have the, you could say, common rarity, uncommon, rare, and then maybe the legendary version with all these dots. I think this will indicate that this divinity has 4 slots on it, but I like this. While we want to increase the potential for you to chase these rare versions of item, we also think the base rarities of UTs have been too high. Build and gameplay defining items shouldn't take 100 or more runs of a dungeon to get. We will be increasing the rate of all base drops of UTs across the game, roughly doubling the rate for most items. This is very, very interesting. I think it was some years ago that they decided to buff the drop rates for a lot of the rare items, like the event whites like Sea Dirt, Jug, Ogmer, and those items. This is a questionable move in my opinion. I'm not really sure. It's nice that people will have an easier time getting UTs, and I guess the chase variants are now the 4 slot UTs. I'm not sure how this will play out, but it's at least something radical that DECA has proposed here, and I wonder if we will see it through to the end. Enchanting and artifacts. With up to 4 slots available, there will be some changes to how enchanting works. Generally, enchanting works how you expect it. You can re-roll an item for a new set of random enchantments. Since there are multiple slots now, some enchantments will not be compatible to roll with other specific enchantments. Additionally, enchantments now have weight values, allowing us to tune the specific rarity of certain enchants and create rarer, unique enchantments for players to be excited about. To promote interacting with the enchantment system, the cost for enchanting will no longer be increased every time you try to roll an item, so you are free to roll as many times as you'd like to perfect your item. Youth items can also roll any of the normal enchantments and are not locked to only engravings. That is very interesting. I like the concept that you can re-roll for the same cost for free. I expect it's for free, but it's very nice that you can re-roll an item how many times you like, because it was such a pain to re-roll an enchantment with green dust, and you always needed more to be able to re-roll and get the things you wanted. So I like this proposal a lot. And we can see here we have a legendary Leviathan armor with 3 slots. Then we have vitality to defense bonus, increases defense by 11%. These are like normal ones. Damage resistance 1, reduces incoming damage by 2. This might be a new one. Flat life regeneration 2, increases life regeneration by 6 seconds. Bonus doubled while out of combat. Okay, interesting. So this makes the tiered items now become even more powerful, but I guess the UT items can also have the enchantments, which is also very interesting and could open up to some really powerful combinations. To allow you more to control over the innate randomness of enchanting, we also adding a new type item called artifacts. When rolling enchantments on an item, you will be able to consume artifacts to influence the roll. For example, one artifact may make all attack modifiers 10x more likely to roll. These artifacts will act as a new reward type that should be common enough to use often but not drop every run like potions. Hopefully they are not for sale for gold, but I feel like DECA is implementing some type of monetization with this, which is always fine since this is a free-to-play game, but I hope that the system is not broken, that it's very much pay to win. I want them to make an initiative to not pay gold, but it's DECA. When this system launches, we will also be providing a public list of all enchantment artifacts and their properties and weights, so players can have a much better time planning their enchantments. Forge and Advanced Dungeons. Coming with the Equipment Rarity update will be some additional changes to the item forge to make it work alongside the enchanting system, as a way to recycle your unwanted items to try and potentially make items with higher slot counts. Advanced Dungeons will also be getting updates, converting their engravings over to the artifact system and giving them higher chances at enchanted items than their normal dungeon counterparts. As heads up, current engraved enchantments are going to be made into legacy versions, and not all of them will continue to be available in the future, but if you acquire them now, you will still have access to those items after equipment rarity. Very interesting. So this is, for example, the Bumbling Bee and engraving that you can get in Advanced Nest. That might be going away, so we might have some rare items in our inventories soon. Awakening of the Primals. It has been nearly 5 years since the release of Orc Sanctuary. I'm just gonna stop there. That's actually insane. I remember playing Orcs the Mad God for the first time so vividly. I remember the first run I did. I remember me starting upload content on Orcs 3, and it was like the restart of my YouTube channel, which is crazy. I don't know, 5 years ago. Time flies really much. And it was Corona back then or something. Yeah, insane. And while some of you still have many exaltations to gain from non-snake bosses, I hope you are restless as we are for the next stage. Hello, I'm Nanomi, and I go by DECA Nano in game. I created most of the features in Season 17 to tell us Trick or Treat and worked heavily on Realm Rework. I'm happy to release this new endgame content expansion within the year, featuring the ancient and mysterious spirits of the realm known as the primals. Okay, so this is within the year 2025. Grave of Eden. Grave of Eden is an endgame island isolated to the west side of the mainland and will be a permanent addition to the realm. Liberate beacons, unlock the secrets of temples of the primals, and eventually awaken the titanic all-new world boss slumbering within the island. Eternity Summit. Upon the completion of the Grave of Eden, a new threat will rise for the most daring and experienced of adventurers. The Eternity Summit is a new pinnacle endgame boss, releasing with the new tier 15 weapons and armor and powerful UTs to match. Ascend the summit and break free from your mortal limitations to face the power of a living god, the ancient dragon Sil. Okay, very interesting. It's a lot to take in here. So we will have a new part of the realm to the west called the Grave of Eden. Very interesting. I feel like the endgame biomes in the realm right now isn't that hard. It's like some enemies are dangerous, but you just run around doing all the same things. And this might be a new gathering of players within the realm that wants to take an extra step in getting some nice rewards and such. So I'm looking forward to that. And getting new tier 15 weapons and armors, very, very cool. And powerful UTs. And we know that there are there are pictures of tier 8 abilities on Realm and such. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Tier 15 weapons and armors, yeah, I dig that. Raid tickets. To supplement our endgame content, we're introducing a new system that aims to help players with less time and friends to break into the endgame. Raid tickets are a new currency resource that players gain on a timed basis for free, allowing them to vastly boost raid eligible boss rewards at the cost of one ticket. Tickets are only consumed as you acquire your reward, so this system will strive to be easier and more automated than loot drop accelerators. For high intensity challenges, you can use your free tickets as a way of gaining plentiful rewards even if you don't have the time to run dozens of raid. If you're accustomed to the raid lifestyle, I know there is a lot of players accustomed to that lifestyle, tickets would still allow you to boost content that otherwise wouldn't be supported through keys, such as Orc Sanctuary, Grave of Eden, and eventually Eternity Summit. Okay, interesting. That's all from me and the designers working on the major game expansions planned this year. Let's take a look at the smaller projects from DECA team that we plan to ship throughout the year. Account levels. Recently, you were able to have a first glance at the account level system. Realm of the Mad God in general has some issues with introducing new players into the game. We're working on several things to combat this. Account levels shows your progress in the game. You earn experience by defeating enemies, completing dungeons, and death-related character info. As you level up, your account grows, and every time you reach a new level, you'll get a unique reward. There are different types of rewards, from cosmetics and gameplay items to permanent upgrades like loot and XP boosts, and higher tier starting gear. Account levels are mainly for our newer players to work towards a goal, unlock rewards that help them progress better and safer, and so on. We've heard your feedback and plan to expand this system in the future for our current endgame and beyond. Right now we are mainly hoping to improve the early game, but the system will be expanded in the future and has a lot of potential. We will be able to shape the feature based on your feedback and input. This is very valuable for early beginner players. I also said that in my video going over this, but I was hoping that some type of endgame functions would be here. But I like that they know about this and their intentions was to make the early game a little bit easier and getting some pet eggs and fame and yeah, everything like that. Very nice. Steam achievements. One of our most reported issues that we have are our Steam achievements. They have not been working since the switch to our Unity client, and a lot of you are confused, especially when first starting the game, why no achievements are unlocked when completing them. We're happy to announce that we are currently having a first look at doing a complete overhaul of the Steam achievement system. This means adding new achievements, fixing old ones and removing them. We don't have a fixed timeline for this yet, but please be aware that we are actively working on it. We did a poll recently on our Discord server, and the majority of the community seems to be fine with us wiping the current system to replace it with something new and up to date. Very nice, nothing to say against that. First time user experience improvements. We noticed that a lot of new players had a hard time understanding the game as the learning curve seems rather steep, which is making things harder than they need to be for the new players to understand and enjoy the game. That is why we will be working on a new and improved tutorial to make it easier for all of our new players to enjoy the game. We will also change the way the classes become available, unlocking them through fame, and removing the requirement to become proficient at using a previous class that may or may not be appealing to everyone. By doing this, we expect you to unlock the classes in the order you want, without having to play something you might not enjoy. There are still some other improvements that we will be making, the likes of changing loading screens and more. With this, we're hoping to improve the early game experience of new players and increase the Realm of the Mad God community. We believe that the game is a lot of fun and want new players to experience that without having too much of a hassle learning how to play it. While not directly aimed at new players, we will be doing a quality of life and class modernizations we have done over the past months. While those take time, we want to make sure classes feel good and fun to play while removing old issues from the game. Another W. There's nothing wrong with this. It's so nice to see DECA to see a problem and talk about it. It's very nice. So this is just great. Making the early game a lot more better, unlocking characters in the order you want with fame, that's really, really nice. Thank you. We want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. Realm of the Mad God is a rather old game, and it's not normal to have such a dedicated fanbase for such a period of time. We try our best to consider your feedback and your input, which is one of the reasons we hold public testing sessions relatively often. While it's impossible to always follow every feedback, we will continue to try to listen and implement whatever we can to make the game better. Another thank you goes out to our close tester and Discord team. Without them, developing the game would be harder and very much different. They allow us to get insight into specific areas we might not always think about, and in general help us with a lot of things. We hope we can continue to deliver some amazing updates in the future and push Realm of the Mad God to an even better version than before. We can't wait to shape the future together with all of you. You are what makes Realm special. Wow, what a team letter. I'm kind of flabbergasted because this is everything I wanted to hear. Future updates, their insights into what they believe the problems are. Very, very nice. So I'm happy they did this, but we should always take this with a pinch of salt. For example, the enchantment system was a late implementation. Rather than getting it on the month of Mad God that year, we got it a lot much more later. But yeah, I really like this, and good communication is always good communication. So yeah, what do you guys think of this? I am generally kind of excited for what will be happening. The item rarity is something that I like. I collect Magic the Gathering, the card game, and it's always nice to have different versions of cards and rarities to flex and play with. So I'm looking forward to that, and making UT items, being able to have enchantments as well. Really, really nice. So I like this, and it looks like we have a good future. But what do you think about this? Comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any of the news that will be happening soon. This year maybe. So yeah, like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys. Bye bye.